The Dodgers did it again. I mean, are they just like not gonna sign a top free agent in an offseason? Kyle Tucker is a Los Angeles Dodger. Bo Bichette has signed, so that is probably the top two free agents remaining on the board. Gone. The Rockies made a couple of moves that to make themselves better, and honestly, I like it. We have some other small moves from the Reds, Orioles, and Yankees, as well as we have to discuss. Does the MLB need a salary cap? All that on today's episode of Warning Track Power, episode 3. Let's get into it. Yeah, Mets fans, Blue Jays fans, I'm really, really sorry about this. And fans of literal general baseball, because the season is effectively over before it has even started. Kyle Tucker, the number one free agent coming into this offseason consensus. It's January. The top free agents have usually started to sign in December, so he's a little late, but regardless, he got paid. That's right. Wait, how much? Kyle Tucker, $60 million AAV. Are you kidding me? He is the highest paid player by AAV in MLB. And unlike basically every other contract the Dodgers have put out, there is no news about deferrals. And this contract is 4 years, $240 million. There are opt-outs after the second and third year of this contract. And boy, oh boy, this Dodgers outfield is going to be one to watch. Not like their whole team isn't one to watch, because it's just star player after star player after star player. You can go Teoscar Hernandez in left field, Andy Pages in center field, Kyle Tucker in right field, Freddie Freeman at first base, Tommy Edman at second base, Mookie Betts at shortstop, Max Muncy at third base. Your DH is Shohei Ohtani. Your catcher is Will Smith. Your rotation, Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow, Ohtani, and all those other pitching prospects that you have. This team is incredible. You have Edwin Diaz closing games down. I mean, is it even possible to bet against this team? Like, the only way that I see that this team doesn't three-peat is if they get killed by injuries. That is the only scenario I see, or for whatever reason, they just decide that they cannot hit when October comes around, which, once again, I doubt, because this is a star-studded lineup, a star-studded rotation. They fixed their one hole, which was bullpen, with the number one reliever on the board in Edwin Diaz. Like, this team is insane. And before you're all like, oh, the Dodgers are ruining baseball, this is crazy, all these deferrals, and they're so good now, they're signing everybody. Baseball is not ruined by the Dodgers. Baseball is ruined by the teams that don't spend money. If there was competition to go to the Dodgers, then maybe we would see some people going elsewhere. There's no way the top free agent should be at 3 teams. All right, that just shouldn't really happen. There should be a lot more teams in on the Tucker sweepstakes. Like, that's crazy. Now, same time, like, baseball players, it's about legacies and it's about money. Where do you get legacy? You get legacies by putting up good numbers, which Kyle Tucker does. His floor is like, with a fully healthy season, Kyle Tucker's floor is a 5 WAR. That's crazy. He is very good when he's healthy. Injuries do derail him, and he is kind of prone to those injuries. So we'll have to see how healthy he can be with the Dodgers. But, I mean, like, this is crazy. I don't even know if there's competition in the NL West anymore, like I was talking about last video. I think it's just, let's see, who can make the wild card? The Dodgers are winning the division. There's just no way I see around that. I mean, Tucker wants another ring, and if you want another ring, LA is the place to go. If you want a ring, period, LA is the place to go. They've won 2 straight championships. and they're going for number 3. They're gunning for it. I don't think that there is a team in the MLB that is going to be able to win 4 out of 7 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I really don't think that, which is completely scary for me. I don't think that can happen. And as a potential three-peat champion, we do have to talk about the 2027 player lockout. This is increasingly getting more of a scary possibility that we will not have Major League Baseball in 2027 until this deal is formed between managers and players and the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. But one of the things that the owners want, that the players don't want, is a salary cap. And I'm a man of the people. MLB does not need a salary cap. They don't need it. Players should be able to get paid what they are worth. That being said, like, a salary cap also doesn't force the owners, like the Pirates, the Athletics, the Marlins, the Rockies, all those small market teams, the Guardians even, from spending money. It doesn't do that. It actually motivates them otherwise to not spend money. Because, we don't want to go over the tax. We don't want to go over the salary cap. Maybe you just raise the competitive balance tax. Maybe you just do that. But then again, that's more money going to teams that don't spend it, which once again is unfair. Salary floor. Maybe you have to hit a certain salary. Now we're just getting teams giving out weirdo extensions for no reason at all. And then the salary floor is different for the large market teams, the small market teams. Like, it's a thing. The player lockout will be happening. And the players are going to kind of unionize over this non-salary cap thing. That being said, the owners are going to preach about the Dodgers probably about to win 3 straight championships. If not, they basically bought their way to 2 straight. Which, 2 straight championships in baseball, it's hard to do. But when you have all the best talent, it's really a thing that's not going to be too difficult for you to do so long as you stay healthy, which is obviously the biggest thing in baseball. But here we go with the deferrals and stuff. Hey, look, if you want to defer a contract, defer a contract. When the Dodgers do it, it's the end of the world because they're the Dodgers. The Red Sox did it with the Rafael Devers contract. They deferred a lot of that money. The Cubs did it with the Alex Bregman contract. They deferred money. There's deferred money everywhere. Other teams don't get lit up for it like the Dodgers do because of just how much they have deferred. That being said, you want to play for an organization that has talent now and prospects to trade to bring talent in. That is what the Dodgers have. The Dodgers are the MLB's perfect organization. They are run so well. And the unfortunate reality for all of us non-Dodger fans is that we are not Dodgers fans. We like other teams. And, it's not a problem at all. It is just kind of annoying to see the same team win over and over again. And that's why it's salary cap, we need it. What is stopping someone from just deferring all the money so that they don't go under the salary cap? What is that? What is that all about? Now, obviously, it's hard to plan for the future. But what deferred money is, it doesn't go away. The money doesn't go away. You're still going to have to owe those players the money unless you trade them or whatever. But take Shohei Ohtani, for example. He only made $2 or $3 million last year to be the National League MVP in the last 2 seasons. He's made $4 to $6 million in the last 2 seasons. And his total thing was $700 million. Are you kidding? That's $68 million deferred. You take that on top of the Teoscar Hernandez deferrals, the Mookie Betts deferrals, the Freddie Freeman deferrals, the Yoshinobu Yamamoto deferrals, the Blake Snell deferrals, the Tyler Glasnow deferral. Every contract is deferred. And it's they're not going to have what a lot of people are looking past is the fact that 4 or 5 years down the road, their players are going to be getting older, for one. And for two, those deferrals are going to start spiking up. And maybe the Dodgers are not that big powerhouse team. You know, like they have the prospects to not be that, but then again, you got to pay those guys too. And they have money, they're willing to spend the money, and because they're willing to spend money, but spend enough of the money and push some of that money to later, they're ruining the game of baseball. I don't I don't see why people just automatically jump to that. Then again, I just went on a really long spiel about this. I don't want to keep talking about this, but the Dodgers aren't ruining baseball. It's the small market teams and the other teams that are not spending enough. They're not taking the risk to go sign a player for a lot of money. And like any team can use deferrals, not just the Dodgers. Anyways, Bo Bichette is a New York Met. The Mets missed out on Kyle Tucker and then very, very swiftly after signed Bo Bichette, a 3-year, $126 million contract. No deferrals once again. There are opt-outs after the first 2 years. He probably will fit in at that second base or second base or third base position. I would think second base would be that spot for him, as you would probably have Vientos playing third, and you could bring up Ryan Clifford to be that opening day first baseman, which I do kind of like. Um, Obviously, Blue Jays bummed out that they missed out on him, but they're still a great team. The Blue Jays are still a contender for AL champion. I mean, with that Kyle Tucker signing, I don't think anybody else is considerably the World Series champion other than those Dodgers for 3 in a row. But, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about the Dodgers spending money? Spend money yourself? Or they can just spend more than you. Now, with all this drama about the Dodgers and stuff, well, NL West teams are still doing stuff. Like, obviously, the D-backs with the Nolan Arenado trade and the Jonathan Loáisiga pickup, and the Giants have made some moves to get better back in the past at the deadline. And, well, the Padres are the Padres, so they'll find a way to be good and then choke in the early rounds of the playoffs like they always do. And, well, the Rockies, they're making some moves too. The Rockies signed 2 free agents, starting pitcher Michael Lorenzen, 1 year, $8 million for him. $9 million club option for 2027. They also signed utility man Willie Castro, 2 years, $12.8 million guaranteed. I believe there are incentives in there as well. I like these moves for the Rockies. I mean, they're still a long ways from competing, but look, you're making some moves. I appreciate it. Good job, Rockies. Good job. Are they the flashiest moves in the world? No. But then again, you're the Rockies. You're not going to make those big, flashy moves. So, I like it. Willie Castro, Michael Lorenzen, nice. And to end today's episode, there are some other small moves that I'm going to need to talk about here. The Reds sign relief pitcher Pierce Johnson for 1 year, $6.5 million, mutual option for 2027. That would divide the money up between those 2 years, so $3.25 million for each year should the mutual option be exercised. The Orioles made a couple of moves. They signed Sam Huff to a minor league deal. For those of you that don't remember, he was a Texas Ranger who was considered untouchable in trades, as he was supposed to be the next great catcher in the MLB. Eventually, he did get traded to the Giants and really stayed in the minors for them. And now he is a Baltimore Oriole. They also claim Jose Suarez off waivers. And they DFA Marco Luciano to fill that roster spot. The New York Yankees have re-signed left-handed pitcher Paul Blackburn, and I believe he will either be the long reliever or in a 5 or 6 man rotation for the Yankees. Obviously, you do have to wait for Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon, who are going to be missing the start of the season, to come back before you're able to have your really good rotation that you've really tried to do with that Max Fried signing. And relief pitcher Takahiro Norimoto, sorry if I butchered that name, is to stay in the MPB. He's going to play his 2026 season with the Yomiuri Giants. So he will not be coming to MLB. He's been pretty good overseas in Japan, so he will not be joining the likes of Tatsuya Imai and Kazuma Okamoto, who have signed with MLB teams this offseason. So, with that being said, let me know down in the comments what you make of these moves. Kyle Tucker signing. Are you a Dodgers fan and love it? Are you a fan of literally any other team in the MLB and absolutely hate it? Same thing with Bo Bichette. Do you like that signing, Mets fans? Does anybody like that signing? If you're a fan of some of the Reds, Orioles, or Yankees, do you like the moves that you guys made? Rockies fans, if there are any that still exist in this world, are you happy with the moves that you guys made? What are your thoughts on the lockout and salary cap, salary floor shenanigans that's going around right now? And we will be looking to get stuff out for you as soon as I can possibly put videos out to keep you guys updated on the game of baseball on the Warning Track Power podcast, where we're just a few feet short of the fences, but all in on the game. See you next time.